Welcome! My name is Ike, this is Switzerland.playit. It's TAGN time! Every day, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. here on Switzerland.playit. The Angry Game News. I talk about video games hardware, at least when I find something. There's rarely hardware, unfortunately. Some TV show stuff, and of course, some movie stuff too. Here and there, anime comes up too. Manga, not so much comic, whatever. But yes, my main focus is on games. Ahoy, everybody. Ahoy, Eden. Ahoy, ouch. Yeah, before I start, as usual, Mondays might be longer than usual, but because 3 days of coverage, pretty much. We have not a lot of articles today, but we have 2 articles. We're gonna watch like the entire thing. And we are also gonna talk about what I did this weekend. I usually don't do that, but for some reason I have an urge to do it. Ahoy, Godzilla. And my urge is to tell you I started watching Foundation, the Apple TV show, which is based on the book of Isaac Asimov. And yeah, it's like the ideas in general I like, the base story I like, but even Apple makes everything gay. Probably gayer than others, actually. But yeah. And I'm thinking hard about starting doing like short reviews of shows. And I have like an idea, like kind of a vision how to do it. Just write everything down in German and do that, and then like a AI translation, but I don't know how well that would work. But this show makes me itch for reviews, like for every episode, like a review of 5 to 7.5 minutes, like pretty short. Just point out what is happening and what I think about what is happening in the shows. But it involves a lot of work, so not sure. But this show, for some reason, like pushes me to, yeah, go for it. But who would watch it though? That's the problem. And how would I make money with it? It's like free work doing. Foundation's books are good. Yeah, I'm not a big book reader, so but I'm pretty sure a lot of stuff was changed, and that's what pisses me off, that I can't read books, in the sense of makes me sleepy as fuck, man. Already dislike what a homo. I don't know. It was before even. I just like broadcasted it. I broadcasted the stream, like scheduled it, and yeah, it was there. Whatever. It doesn't matter, Godzilla. As long as the chat is populated, that is the important thing. The chat populated, people talking to me. It can have like 1 million fucking dislikes, who cares? Ahoy, Galactic. Anyhow, let's get started, not wasting more time. My and your time is precious, isn't it? By telling you that they are telling us they are big successful with the Oblivion remaster. Titan 9 is how many millions of players have played the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered. Yeah, maybe not so much, because the whole article goes into like how great it is, but how closed it is. You can't just insert mods that easily, because Bethesda has made with this remaster a mixture of Unreal Engine and their old, I forgot the name of their old engine, like a mixture, but it doesn't work a lot with mods. There are mods for it out there, but not a lot of it, because they are not opening it for mods, really. Pretty much similar to Starfield. And I just wanted to report this. They are telling us it's super successful, and I guess it was successful for sure, but 9 million players, not buyers. It's on Game Pass, Microsoft Game Pass, and as usual, I'm super skeptical when they report numbers like that. So who knows how many buyers they really had. I assume 1 million on over all platforms, but yeah, this is the report by Microsoft, pretty much 9 million players, and most of them are probably on Xbox Game Pass. Quint's ideas have good content on Foundation, Dune, and many other sci-fi books. Quince? I don't know Quince. Yeah, books also make me sleepy nowadays, so I often use PDF converter books on PC. I get less sleepy reading that way. You would think that works with everybody, not with me. I have even an Amazon reader, which is amazing, like super readable and all that, but man, I don't know what it is. I can read more like historic books or like technical books, but like fantasy makes me super sleepy. More sleepy than anything. We see nothing. What do you mean? Oh, the article. Yeah, sorry. Doesn't matter. I just told you the title so far, but thank you. Much appreciated. I just talked about the title pretty much. I'm not going to go into the article itself too much. It tells us like the whole history, pretty much what happened with the remaster. Not very interesting. Not very interesting. The most interesting is the article is linked down below if you want to read it yourself, for sure. But the most important is they are reporting these 9 million figures there. And I'm telling you, I don't believe it. I mean, it's successful for sure. You know what was not so successful? Star Wars Outlaws. That was a pile of dog shit, and they try to recover from it still by patching it, by making it at least playable. But yeah, Ubisoft is a lot of fucked. Star Wars Outlaws sequel reportedly is cancelled, will stay in a galaxy far, far away. A lot of people swear by Star Wars Outlaws these days, but that doesn't change the fact that the game was a colossal flop upon launch. Embattled Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot recently commented on the catastrophic open world outing, admitting that it failed to meet expectations and blaming its underperformance on the choppy, in quotation mark, nature of the Star Wars brand overall, which I already called it out, and many people, all other people called it out. How did Jedi Survivor did not fail so hard? How did the Star Wars Fallen Order, those two connected Souls-like-ish games, didn't fail so hard like yours? Huh? So you can't blame it only on the name. Now Insiders Gaming's Tom Henderson, who well known to have connections with Ubisoft, has revealed that the sequel to the game has been cancelled, citing the poor sales of the original as the reason. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe they already knew it was fucked from the very, very beginning, but that's just my suspicion. Suspicion, whatever. English, motherfucker, you know. It's likely this was a very early production at Swedish studio Massive Entertainment, and it makes sense considering the weak sales of the original. But those who've come around to Star Wars Outlaws since it's been improved and updated will undoubtedly be disappointed by this news. Will they? Did they even know it was like another sequel in the making? I doubt it. I just doubt it. Ubisoft recently splintered some of its biggest brands off into a subsidiary company, which has attracted investment from Tencent. I think the chronological order might be switched because Tencent invested and wanted this subsidiary company to happen with them, and not the other way around. Like, yeah, you make your subsidiary and we wait till you establish it and then get in and own a little bit of it. Nah, I think the chronological order is out of order. That new division houses the likes of Assassin's Creed, Rainbow Six, and Far Cry, three of the French firm's biggest brands, which they are keeping destroying, by the way. Assassin's Creed, I Can't Breathe edition, flop. It's a flop. They need to admit that finally, but they did not. Rainbow Six seems to be doing well because of microtransaction, and we know since Ubisoft told us microtransaction makes it more fun, the game. So it's doing good for them, I guess. And Far Cry 6, yeah, I don't want to talk about Far Cry 6, man. Fuck that. Super overpriced dog shit. I agree. Glitchy as fuck. I've seen like the first clips on it and I was like, holy shit. I mean, every game can have on PC these days, like a lot of glitches on launch, but like fucking it like that hard, man, you're destroying your own crap. For what reasons? I feel like the game was supposed to have been originally either a Han Solo game or a dash render game from Shadows Empire, but then they changed things in it and didn't bother to fix bugs. I mean, it was known that it was actually Han Solo in the first drafts and all that, like in the story, in the scripts and all of it. Everybody knows about that now. I don't know who Dash Render is because I'm not a big Star Wars guy. I never read any books. I've seen pretty much first 6 episodes. Watched a little bit of the cartoons and the shows, but like the old ones, the Clone Wars and all that. But other than that, I'm not a big fan, so I can't say on Dash Render. Jabba the Hutt Beauty Pageant Lizard Edition will be the next game. Sounds funny though. I want to see that now. Jabba the Hutt Beauty Pageant Lizard Edition. I mean, Lizard is now canon, I guess. Lizard is now canon in the Star Wars universe or galaxy. That is pretty crazy to think about. Grr, my verification is still missing. Get your shit together, Rumble. Your verification of what? Ubisoft caused this is difficult to fap to. Ubisoft, precisely. Watched Mauler play it for a little while. It was bad. He shit all over it. Rightfully so. The talent has bled out of the game industry as most of the best programmers have retired or left because of woke BS and DEI. Shadows of the Empire was a game as well on the N64. Yeah, I mean, I know about the game name, but not the characters or whatever. She's Cannonball. She ate the cannonballs. That's how it is. Little side note, because people like it and they are waiting for it, I guess. Elden Ring Night Rain Duo Expedition update launches July 30th. That means the game was all the whole time only solo doable. Now, from the 30th of July, you can play it with a buddy. Publisher Bandai Namco and developer FromSoft will release the version 1.0. Not point. Why do I say a second point? There's no second point. 1.02 update for Elden Ring Night Rain on July 30th. The companies announced it will add duo expedition and quality of life user interface improvements, including more relics, filtering options. Okay. Short news. More TV shows. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that in general. But let's do those 2 articles first. Wolfenstein TV series in the works from same company behind Fallout show. After conquering the wasteland of Fallout with a well-received TV series, Wolfenstein is the next big project in development at Amazon. The upcoming TV series is being led by Fallout producer Kilter Films and Patrick Somerville. Under his chaotic good TV production banner. Jörg Gustafsson from the current Wolfenstein games developer Machine Games will also help executive produce the project. According to Variety, details on the project and its plot remain locked up for now, but it looks like the core premise of killing Nazis is being kept intact. Yeah, you better do it this way, man. You better keep that core premise intact. What a stupid... They have to point that out. That is so stupid, so ridiculous, so silly, so pathetic. The Wolfenstein video game series has been around since 1981, and 1992's Wolfenstein 3D from developer ID Software is credited as one of the key games that helped popularize first-person shooters in the 90s. So yeah, there you have it. I reported, I think it was actually last week, and I didn't know it really, but Amazon also doing like Mass Effect. The same team who were behind the Fallout, Mass Effect. Now, Wolfenstein, how do you think about that? How do you feel about that? I mean, it's an easy to do premise. You can put woke BSDI crap in it too, just like they did in Wolfenstein 2 in the newer one, right? Boss lady, brown boss lady, whatever, man. It's weird. But if you keep it like intact with all the gore, with all the brutality, with killing Nazis, maybe the woke DEI crap can be a little smaller, like because you're killing already the fascist Nazis, right? Might work, who knows? Oh, hey, good to see you. That would be a huge cannon. Maybe that one the Nazis built in World War II, they needed to move on the railroad track, could fire a laser round. I don't remember. It had a specific name. It had a very specific name. I don't remember it though, but I know which one you mean. It was called Schwerer Gustav. Was it the Schwerer Gustav? I'm not sure. Maybe. What a stupid thing to say. Honestly, I would feel better killing World War II commies from Russia. Neo-Nazi Godzilla confirmed, I guess. After taking Germany, we should have marched onto Russia. No, Russia is now Allied forces. Gonna remain in the history. Ahoy, me guys! I loved camp. I love lamp. At the band camp. Not sure why you were rhyming. Now, since we talked about Amazon, I have to talk more about it, because Amazon's God of War TV show will retain the tone of the 2018 reboot series, but may also reference older Greek saga. Yeah, if you want to do it from the game, you have to reference to the Greek mythology. Speaking with Collider at San Diego Comic-Con, series showrunner and former Battlestar Galactica executive producer Ronald D. Moore confirmed Amazon's God of War adaptation will remain largely faithful to Sony Santa Monica's 2018 game, though it won't be a frame-by-frame remake. And nobody asked for it in the first place, but thank you for telling us how you're gonna do it. This world and this universe are really rich, and it's interesting, and it's really been fun to adapt, Moore explained. It's an adaptation, so it's an adaptation / interpretation as you go into live action. And it's been really fun to sort of go, wow, these are a lot of wow, there's a lot here we can play with. Okay, we want to keep the story. We want to keep the characters and the spirit of it. There's all this stuff that you can keep turning to for inspiration. It's really been interesting. At the present time, those 10 episodes of Moore's God of War adaptation are still in the script phase. Filming may begin in 2026 at earliest, Moore said. As usual, have my troubles. I didn't have a lot of good sleep at all, but yeah. Oh, 30-something media. So now let's talk a little bit about Amazon. What's going on with Amazon? So they pretty much started off with the Fallout, doing like this game series into a show and keep on going it with the season 2. They then announced pretty much Mass Effect, right? They are doing that now. Before Mass Effect, actually, there was also Tomb Raider, Lara Croft, but that was cancelled so far. They might have still the rights. I don't know about that. So they might still just search a showrunner. Then they went just on Wolfenstein, and now we get like more confirmation on God of War, like how far it's in there. So it looked like Amazon is going very hard for game series to put them into some shows. I don't know when that idea came up for them, like at what point they decided to do all of those very known franchises. But that's a lot. Like in a very short period of time, all those shows, all of a sudden. Yeah. And DEI, my main concern is still DEI, because that didn't die. That didn't die just because the Trump guy got in office. That didn't matter at all for the companies. People, normal people like us, are fucking tired of it. Sure, I absolutely agree. I don't want to see it anymore. I just told you about the foundation. It's a fucking mess. They destroy a lot of the fucking character of the core premise in the stories. But here we are, and I fear for the worst, but I hope for the best, I guess. That's all I can say. Guarantee that's going to blow? Most likely. Why must they make a show of this too? I don't know why. Maybe it makes money. Who knows? Ike, my grandfather was on the ground soldier during World War II, and that was the sentiment. About going to the Russians? Yeah, I bet it was, but the bigger threat, it seems, was the Germans. And you had not like enough men to fight more of the Russians all of a sudden. How would that look like? You know what I mean? It will be woke garbage. Most likely. The series needs more WNBA players. No, maybe you can help them out. I don't know. I want more black lesbian beating up on a white chick. You might get it. You might get it. Especially in Wolfenstein. There's like the opportunity to put in a lot of black lesbian chicks beating up white, big, beefy, buffed fucking German dudes, blonde, fucking furnitures. Who knows? There's a chance to see that. Kratos played by no, Kratos. I don't think they were gonna make him black. They might, but I'm pretty sure they're gonna keep this a white dude, bigger white dude. It needs to have like a deep voice though, or some powerful voice, a dude with a powerful voice. If they change him to a black character, I think the show will be just dead on arrival, pretty much. Oh, my mouse died. Great. How you died? Why do you do that on my shows? You fucker. I hate plugin. There we go. Mouse working again. Big Mike will be Kratos. Big Mike. He's not buffed enough. It's Amazon. They will fuck up 9 out of 10 projects. Yeah, actually, I think Amazon does a better job, like percentual wise, than Netflix. So it might be more like only 8 out of 10. Big Mike Kratos. Kevin Spacey will be 3 years and will be gay with Kratos. Why are you giving them ideas, and really stupid ideas? No amount of money can fix that. What they did to Lotto or Wheel of Time. I think that was all, and I think still a lot of that shit is all just money laundering. Even if you make like garbage stories, garbage acting and all that, if you put that amount of money into like the environment, in settings, in clothing, in costumes and all that, those should be like high quality, just because of the amount of the money. And it didn't look like high quality to me at all. What I've seen of Wheel of Time and of Rings of Power. It looked to me like, yeah, they absolutely are doing here some money laundering. Like big time. And sooner or later, this will all blow. Many say like, yeah, Amazon has money, infinite amount of money to burn. I don't think that. I'm convinced they are doing some really shady stuff. And a lot of money laundering. Waiting for Warhammer 40k to be cancelled by Amazon because of Henry Cavill want the it up. Oh yeah, I forgot that. I actually had that in mind when I Bookmarked all those articles. There's another game series, or game series, game franchise Amazon has in the pipeline. Warhammer. Let's see how that goes. You're very right there, Haste. There's only one Big Mike. I just pretended they don't exist. He's out there. Big Mike, Michelle Obama. We know. Mohab. Big funny as hell if they have a black guy play him, but they paint his skin white. Oh, they wouldn't have any troubles with white skinning, white facing, for that matter. You remember what was the movie White Chicks? I think it was just a very short title, White Chicks, with the two black undercover cops. If two white dudes would play like two black chicks, how big of an outrage would be there, man? How big of an outrage? Cities would burn, and more than ever. And you still could do like white facing. I'm convinced of that. The Little Mermaid is black, and they don't even swim. That was very racist, Mick Eisen. Everybody say hi to Mick Eisen for being super racist. Wolfenstein and Mass Effect don't have a ton of story. Amazon will fill it in with absolute mind rot. Nah. You can still make a show, 10 episode, 1 season, at least from Wolfenstein. I think Mass Effect has more story. Like, you could put in a lot of sci-fi in it and make it fun visually. That is my biggest beef with Foundation. How big is that? Foundation, like, technically it looks amazing. It looks really good overall. Like, camera work, perfect. Audio, fine, right? The CGI is good, well done. Not like slop, like just shit out. But this, like the elements, the DEI elements, man, that's what gets me all the time. We'll see Manchi as cheeks. No, we will not. Hopefully not. Netflix is the worst. They fucked up 10 out of 10. Now they are on 9 out of 10. Who the fuck hit the dislike button? Are you retarded? He hit it early on. I remember it. I do not like what Amazon did to Fallout. They really had an understanding of what made Fallout. Mass Effect and God of War would be more normie friendly. Normie friendly Mass Effect? Not sure about that. Anyhow, other than little news, who nobody asked for, but we're gonna get it. Are you a Rick and Morty fan? Well, new Rick and Morty spin-off will follow the adventures of Keith David's President Curtis. He shows up in some episodes, and I'm giving you just the news. He's gonna get his own President show there. Side show spin-off. That's it. I just wanted to point it out. It is what it is. Fans are once again accusing Activision Blizzard of using AI-generated art in Diablo Immortal X Hearthstone event marketing material. So we are not going to go too deep into this one. We are just going to observe like what they found or supposedly found. So we have here the main picture. That's how it looks. Like highest resolution. Links are in the down below in the description for yourself. And to me, it looks like whatever. I am okay with it. I don't care. But if they used AI, fuck them even more than ever. And that's what people supposedly found. So we have an ear with triple holes here. Must be a weird human here. A mixture of a human and somebody else, or something else. We have a hand that merges with the wall in the background there. We have the card flipped or mirrored. We have the necklace of her here merging with her skin, melting into her skin. We have a swirl left or right, can't decide. Yeah, that's weird, I agree. We have weird melting of the candle. We have a card without anything on it, some weird thing going on there, and some food. I suppose it's food without a plate. So if Blizzard used AI, they are fucking idiots and deserve everything coming to them. Fuck Blizzard anyway. So my question would be, why though? You do like whole CGI movies, and there was a trailer for this too, like a pretty detailed trailer, by the way. Why do you do a preview picture, an announcement picture for your new crossover there with Hearthstone and Diablo Immortal with AI? Why? I hope you wasted money on that, and I hope fans are gonna leave you. It is what it is, man. They are stupid. Talent will evaporate to more people rely on AI to do everything for them. Why are you AI? Why are you AI? Who said I'm AI? Said Grok. It's just weird. I mean, I get it that you might have a smaller team. You might have not enough time, you know, to do everything yourself now because your whole team of 10 artists were shrunk down to you and another guy, right? So you're on a schedule. You have to work day and night to do all that work that previously was a little bit distributed amongst 10 people. Now you're fucked. And now you have no time. But you have like maybe your internal company AI that is not perfect but does a kind of a decent job. And if I wouldn't be like, or I'm not autistic, if we wouldn't have other people who are autistic who wouldn't see that stuff, we might never know of that that slop, right? I don't care, but yeah, everything what is coming towards Blizzard, they absolutely deserve. So we rushed a little bit through to those news. We had more news like Pedro Pascal being Pedro Pascal out there. Who the fuck gives a shit? Like he's being weird. Vanessa Kirby being with him weird. Touching his neck there weirdly. Massaging it. What the fuck is that? You know? He is not only gay, he is bisexual. He wants just to suck dick and being sucked off by anybody. It doesn't matter what it is, right? He might be even into bestiality. Who the fuck knows? I'm just fantasizing about him because he seems to be very weird, right? And we had a lot of news about James Gunn telling us what is canon and what is not, and Peacemaker is coming out, season 2. We got more details about that. It's all just whatever, right? A lot of the same news all over the places. So it's not the news that Pedro Pascal is being Pedro Pascal, right? This is also not really news, but we have more details about it, and we have weird details about what's going on. Why are you AI? What did I miss? Welcome to hell, motherfucker. Mass Effect and God amount will be more normie friendly. Then why are you gay? Gay eye. Oh, that might be like a very specific AI, only for gays. You have to prove that you are gay to use the gay eye. How would you do that? I don't know. Sucking dick on camera as a approval, as a verification. Speaking of verification, that's what this next story is about. I have fun with Suno, but I write my lyrics and refine the text I use a lot. I also like using upscale software for old photos and movies. Great tools, but I can still draw and sculpt. I used to sing. Yeah, the upscalers. If you have like a good source, you can do like better outcomes, better upscalings. Don't use it for everything. And I'm like a nerd in that field in the sense of, and a very probably more like snobbish towards video upscaling. So I have a higher standard than usual people. Double can. Ike knows a lot about Pedro Pascal. Must be a fan. I don't just give a shit anymore. It's just weird that either he is super cheap in Hollywood or he wants to have dirt on him for some obscure reason. I don't fucking know, man. I don't fucking know. Nerd! I'm nerd for video stuff, absolutely. Bitrates and shit. Brits can get around Discord's age verification thanks to Death Stranding's photo mode, bypassing the measure introduced with the UK's Online Safety Act. We tried it and it works. Thanks, Kojima. Thanks you there for the following. Okay, what you need to know is the UK's Online Safety Act was established in 2023, I think in July or a little bit earlier, 2023. But it's now active in July 2025, more specific 25th, meaning like 3 days ago it was put in place. Pretty much on time with the itch.io platform, like Purge there going on. Pretty much on time with the Steam stuff. But we come back later to the collective shout female Australian bitches there. Yeah, you, Evereden. She's involved with it. Let's blame her. Let's everybody blame Evereden for making everything shit. Those brown Aussies there, fucking it up for everybody. I mentioned this in my last video too, but just to tell them to stop or they will implement more shit. Lol. Next, you will need to semen sample to get online. Is the shipment free though? For many people, that's the question. Is the shipment gonna be free for my semen to send to them? I hate the cocks in this place. Has ever eaten. Some amazing details are sometimes revealed you could not see otherwise. Collective butthole. Their logo is an asterisk, and yes, asterisks can look like buttholes, especially when they are in a circle. Just saying. Today saw the full introduction of the requirements outlined in the Online Safety Act in the UK, requiring robust age checks for users to access adult content online. People have already managed to find ways around at least some of these verification requirements after checks watch less than 24 hours. Earlier today, our James stumbled across people using Sam Porter Bridges selfies to bypass Discord's age verification. From this post from Danny Sterkoff on X. Naturally, we thought to take this infiltration method for a spin. The result? Cue the Deus Ex music. I don't even know which one they mean though. James was able to bypass the new verification system and exfiltrate key NSFW data without altering the system to intrusion. Basically, it worked! We are enjoying smutty Baldur's Gate 3 fanfics on Discord again. Not that we couldn't anyways, we are all 18 or older here. Nor are we telling you to circumvent these restrictions. Adult content is for adults. Wow, thank you. Wow, what an amazing fucking result there. Thank you, Mr. Sherlock Holmes. But it is a fun hack and a good way of keeping your actual face far away from Discord's age verification system, KID. And that's how it looks. So you can use your phone for the verification, pretty much the phone camera. And it tells you to open your mouth, close your mouth, makes a picture, and you're approved. KID is able to verify users in one of two ways, face scan or scan ID. The latter is fairly self-explanatory, but the former uses checks to verify how old you look to see if you're good to view whatever adult content you're hoping to view. Discord essentially demands age verification for the following. when unblurring or changing settings for the Discord sensitive media filter, when changing message request settings, when trying to access age-restricted 18+ channels. Why is it only 18+? Some countries, some nations have, by the way, 16+, because they are weirder. Now, KID claims it does not permanently store any video selfies or personal identity documents after a user age is confirmed. So saith the Discord support page. And I absolutely trust them. If they tell me so, they are not storing that. I absolutely trust them. Now, I didn't look it up. I didn't look it up if KID is connected to an external company, like an outsourced software developer, software intermediate company, right? And I assume right out of the gate, I just assume that. So it might be true that Discord doesn't store that shit, but other places do. Like making it a different company. Yeah, your KID is not Discord. That's our subsidiary company just for verification. We don't store it. You know what I see? What I say here? You understand it? So I'm not trusting them on those words. As usual, it will come out sooner or later. Oh, they have stored your shit, by the way. They told you they don't, but they do actually in some way or form. Just mark my words and use your brain. That's all I'm saying here. Hoi Nutty! Good to see you. Sam Porter Bridges. The T-app woman used for talking about guys also said they didn't keep the verification photos. Then, surprise, leak. Oh yeah, I'm shocked. I'm shocked to hear that, man. I'm shocked. That means it's not the end of the world if you did upload your actual face in theory, though I understand some aren't too comfortable with the prospect either way. That also means it won't know you used Sam Porter's face once you're verified, as it has now of checking the records, so to speak. And it has no way. Yeah. I'm mark my words. They first are gonna come out, oh yeah, we are actually storing it. And secondly, what was the actor's name? Norman Reedus will come out forward like, guys, I don't need so many verification. Really, I'm not a gooner. Sam Porter Bridges is also not a gooner. Why is it all over Discord? But it's just funny overall, I think. The method requires using a phone for Discord age verification, opening Death Stranding's photo mode and preparing a close-up of Sam Porter PlayIt by one Norman Reedus. The KID Discord ID verification is designed to weed out would-be imposters and ask users to open and close their mouth to verify they're a real person. Thanks to Kojima's attention to detail, that's easy enough in Death Stranding, as Sam's expression bar lets you pick through facial expressions. This requirement for facial movement appears to weed out, say, using an image of a game character on the cover of a PC Gamer magazine, but it's not much of an issue for games or even AI to circumvent. Yeah. I mean, I know about the photo modes and all that, and probably you can do it with other faces, actually. The thing with Death Stranding 2 is like very detailed, very, very high quality detailed stuff. They made like big scans of the faces of the actors, especially Norman Reedus, and so much detailed that you can like look like a real human for the AI there. And I assume it will work with other photo modes. Maybe I should try on a different system with a different Discord account over UK VPN with Ghost of Tsushima, actually, because you have also facial expressions there. Even in God of War, by the way, might work. We need more clarification. Cletus McFag. Was that his name in Walking Dead? Cletus? Might be. Oh, Bimo, trust me, bro. Yeah, it is. Trust me, bro. Trust me, bro. We are not saving your shit. Trust me. Can you sign this paper for me, please, and tell me that you are not saving anything? Will you do that for me, CEO of Discord? We weren't sure whether it would work for us because Sam was wearing his other cap in our James save file. But it worked just fine and took about 30 seconds from start to finish. 30 seconds for infiltration and another 30 for Baldur's Gate fanfic data exfiltration. Now I suppose we shouldn't take the UK government's age verification requirements to have amounted to nothing because of this. It is just one of many possible age verification methods used across websites to answer the UK government's call for more stringent measures. It might not be so easy with other solutions. Probably not. They want your ID scans. They absolutely want your ID scans. Not only the ID scans, but you hold up your ID beside your face. So they're gonna come up with more of that shit. Just you wait. It just started. It just started last week, Friday. Chill out. But it's at least something to consider, along with the threat the bill might pose to our privacy, thanks to vagaries of the language, vagaries of the language surrounding online encryption as we shuffle ever closer to the gates of the digital panopticon. Still, I guess it tries to stop some people from seeing things they shouldn't, which isn't a bad thing. It's just difficult to get a beat on whether it actually will achieve that, and doesn't water down UK citizens' privacy too much in the process. I don't know about their privacy in the first place, especially when you live in London, like with all those cameras throughout the whole city, not only on crossroads, throughout the whole cities. Like the whole city is just plastered with cameras. I don't know even how many thousands they have these days, but it might be the most camera-covered city on this planet, actually. Like worse than some Chinese cities. So there you go. There goes your privacy. So stop talking about UK's citizens' privacy. If that would have been ever a concern, you would never allow like all those cameras. So please, don't hurt my intellect there. And you hurting my intellect just calling me out like stupid people. In DS2, there's little wrinkles under the eyes. Yeah, you see like all the little pores, all the little imperfected face things. Imperfectacy, how you call them. No, I just call him Okay, good for you. I'm telling you, mark this. Every tech-savvy person will need their own personal AI assistant to look for malicious code and circumvent this shit. Don't. That sounds like a backdoor, though, into your mind. Like, yeah, get our AI. Get our Microsoft AI, by the way. We invested like 80 billion US dollars already. That's what I reported last week. That everybody can have their personal AI, by the way, to make new tools, your personal tools and all that. So, yeah, they're gonna try to sell you it this way, Nutty. I'm not trusting that either. I don't give a shit. If I can have an AI locally on my system, like running through my GPU, fine. And I can do that. I can like firewall that shit if necessary. I'm kind of surprised they aren't tying verification to a unique ID that an iPhone or Android phone. There are systems out there like that. There are systems out like that. And they will come up with new ways, because this will not go well, what we have right now. This is going to be maybe even fixed like in a week or two. Maybe they're just not going to allow any of Norman Reedus' face anymore. They're going to have like a whole library of faces of him, just to exclude all those pictures. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be fixed. How fast? Who knows? Maybe in a week, maybe in a year. But they are not gonna let that fly. Open source stuff, not a slop corporate. I mean, these people are a giant veg. They are. I had to look up Panopticon. Are you smarter now? I hope you learned something. I forgot. I had it in my head, but who cares? Panopticon, pan like wide, like yeah, opticon, like on a wider view, right? I think it was something like that. Now connected to that, they claim that all for themselves. I don't think they had a real big saying in all this play, though, to be honest. But they are just like jihadists. If something bad happens, you use that opportunity to claim it for yourself, because you hate those people there. They are the same, maybe. We approached payment processors because Steam did not respond. Australian pressure group collective shout claims responsibility for Steam and itch.io NSFW game removal. Australian pressure group. Even like how you call it, Australian pressure group. Are you made up as a group to do just pressure? No. Collective Shout has claimed responsibility for the recent itch.io and Steam developments that have seen the platforms change how they deal with and in some cases remove NSFW games and content from their respective platforms. The group had already been closely linked with this situation, which has seen itch.io and Steam scramble and appease payment providers like Visa, as they suddenly took an interest in the kind of games available on the platforms, especially those which contravened rules and standards the payment providers apparently had. It led to itch.io de-indexing all the NSFW content from its browse and search pages, and Steam introducing vague new rules about adult content while removing a slew of games. In response to false claims and misinformation about our campaign, we are setting the record straight, wrote Collective Shout in Facebook update. Some have asked why we involved payment processors, and others have claimed we are responsible for itch.io removing all NSFW content. We raised our object to rape and incest games on Steam for months, and they ignored us for months. We approached payment processors because Steam did not respond to us. We called on itch.io to remove rape and incest games that we argued normalized violence and abuse of women. Itch.io made the decision to remove all NSFW content. Our objections were to content that involved sexual violence and torture of women. Collective Shout shared a timeline of the campaign on its website, nothing how it began with No Mercy. That was a game that was very specific, just about, supposedly, I don't know about the game, that's what I read. Just violence against women, rape them, don't accept a no for about sex. Might be the case, doesn't sound like a fun game, I absolutely fucking agree. But it is a game. It is a game, you're not abusing any real woman. Split the reality from fiction, guys. If you're not able to do that, you are retard. You should not have access or unadulterated, unfiltered, supervised access to the internet, in my opinion. But that's only me. A game which involves extreme sexual violence. Again, the extreme sexual violence. Either it's violence or not. What is extreme sexual violence? That wording always. Being brought to it's in March. The group's actions, a mixture of petitioning, emailing and lobbying, began in early April and led to the game being removed from sale later that month. And here we have the screenshot of what the campaign timeline supposedly is. I don't believe it. I'm gonna tell you why I think they're claiming that for themselves. And they might have like a little involvement in all that, but maybe they're just claiming it for themselves. Steam campaign timeline. In response to false claims and misinformation about our campaign, we are setting the record straight. Some have asked. Oh, it's just the same. Yeah, what I just read here. Before I move on, maybe I'm gonna talk about why I think it's BS and why it's so timely mannered with the the UK Online Safety Act. So these women, these strong and independent women who need no man but need all the man they can get, because otherwise you can fight the small disturbed game developer there, I guess. They're claiming it's because of their lobbying, right? But I think it's BS. I think it has way more to do with the UK Online Safety Act there. Firstly, the time frame is like a week before it gets into activation, like on the 25th of July. A week before that, Steam already put out the new rules, right? And then pretty much on the same day almost, itch.io does the whole change and purchase their platform from it. Just the time frame is weird there, right? And then we have on Steam also telling us like the providers, if the providers gives us the rules for the content. Not only the payment processors, but also the providers. Keep that in mind. And the woman here don't talk anything about the providers. It would be like probably even too far of a reach for them to get hold of the providers. Telling like your land provider, landline providers or internet providers on the landline, on the wired one, what you are allowed to see. That would, I think, go a little bit too far, and I didn't see any mentioning of that stuff by themselves. So I think they're just claiming that shit for themselves. And we have another screenshot to share in a bit here. These women are dumb shit. These games are not a gateway. It could be. I don't care though, because those games are all slop or bad design and all that shit. But yeah, overall, they are stupid. I agree. No sense of humor. Always want to get in someone else's business. That blue haired, that thick rimmed glasses, 300-pound bitches. I don't want to see them ever, Eden. Thank you. Thank you for describing them to us. And you shouldn't be playing video games. Oh yeah, that's in general. You shouldn't be playing them anyway. If anything, removing the games may lead to more real life rape. I don't know if it works like that. If you can't vent in video games, you go to real life stuff. That proves them right somehow, weirdly. These women think they can take everything away, and then men will settle for a fat blue-haired whales. Are you gonna set for them? I need to go for work. See y'all. Later, haste. Good one. Okay, let's continue. We have more to talk. The group continued to send hundreds of emails to Valve about problematic games that remained on Steam, but said it wasn't until it began lobbying payment processes such as Visa, PayPal, and MasterCard that change began to happen. And again, let me get a sip here. The UK Online Safety Act demands from payment processors and companies tied to them, partnered with them, and providers. That Safety Act demands that. To prevent like that content to get to children. That's another like point in this whole picture here. This rush to appease payment processors has met with pushbacks from parts of the gaming community. There have been collective efforts for instance, to counter-lobby payment companies like Visa in an effort to turn them around. So somebody wrote them, and Visa replied. Supposedly, I haven't seen the real emails, whatever. And they replied here, and I found here a typo because I checked out the reply. While we explicitly prohibit legal, and they mean illegal, this guy just did a typo here. And he is a him, so what can you... Yeah, whatever. Illegal activity on our network, we are equally committed to protecting legal commerce. If a transaction is legal, our policy is to process the transaction. We do not make moral judgments on legal purchases made by consumers. Visa does not moderate content sold by merchants, nor do we have visibility into specific goods or services sold when we process a transaction. When a legal, thank you for the following there on, where is it? On Twitch, good. By the way, follow me everywhere. When a legal operating merchant faces an elevated risk of illegal activity, we require enhanced safeguards for the banks supporting those merchants. Yeah, you're trying, at least that sounds like very specific, like we don't care really, we don't give a shit as long as if it's legal, and we suppose it's legal what Steam does, so we really are not involving ourselves. As long as it's legal, we don't really give a shit. And if something comes up, we try to protect the merchant. Okay? No one will lament that the removal of No Mercy from sale on Steam. I do a little bit. I don't care about this game. It sounds like dog shit, just like Manhunt by Rockstar. But it is allowed to be there, man. Manhunt is a shitty game, in my opinion. It's probably the most shittiest game by Rockstar. But it should be fucking allowed to exist and not be censored and all that shit. Censored in a way maybe like, oh, you're a kid? I'm not gonna give it to you, buddy. Go ask your parents. If your parents are like a little bit out of their mind and want to give you this game, sure. But other than that, just use common sense. Yeah, just use common sense. How about we use more common sense these days? But whether a net like this is thrown over an entire area of perceived problematic content, there will be well-intentioned games caught in the net too. Specifically, LGBTQ+ games are under threat. Games that don't align with the Christian values underpinning the pressure group collective shout. That shows me at the very end that the writer of this article is like a mega fag. He might be a him, like he describes himself, but he might like dick a lot. He wants the dick in his mouth. Just my assumption. I don't know. I can't tell you for sure. It just sounds like, why do you insert like the Christian there? And I'm an atheist. I don't give a shit about religion. You can be whatever you want, religious-wise. So I don't care about Christians that much in the sense. I care about human beings. But that you need to insert that at the end. You show me you are a fucking moron. You're a fucking moron. But you make money with writing those articles, and here we are talking about your article. Thank you there, Robert Porchese. Mr. He-Him. So here's the whole email, the response. And that's where you see like illegal activity and not legal activity. It didn't make sense, right? Hello, thank you for your reaching out and sharing your perspective. As a global company, we follow the laws and regulations everywhere. We do business. While we explicitly prohibit illegal activity on our network, we are equally committed to protecting legal commerce. If a transaction is legal, our policy is to process the transaction. We do not make moral judgments on legal purchases made by consumers. And so on and so on. The rest was the same. So yeah, I mean, Visa, it's only a webmaster. Maybe somebody just typed it in and didn't care and didn't put it like in the higher ups there, to make sure like all the attorneys of Visa watched this response, because that has now some implications by Visa, that they are absolutely okay with those games in general, as long as they are legal, and those games are actually pretty much all legal. I mean, there might be slipping one or two times through like a pedo game, and those should be like fucking watched over, and find those people why you publish such a game and question them. But yeah, here we are. Visa confirming it's not their doing, pretty much. They are fine with it. And there's another point that points out towards the UK Online Safety Act, and not to the payment processors in general, not to this collective shout women's group there. It's pretty much only everything coming down to this Online Safety Act. Time frame, policies by the payment processors themselves globally, right? They have no sayings. The wording in the Steam rules, like providers included, which is according to the UK Online Safety Act there, and not with the online with the collective shout group there. I think they are full of it. What they want is win. They need some marketing. They need some PR out there, even if it's not true. Just like I said, jihadis who have probably nothing to do with that attack and all that shit, but it's fitting their fucking cause, I guess, and claiming it for it. And little last news, then we are done in a timely manner for a Monday. As rumors of a 30 frames per second GTA begin to swirl, Rockstar Games veteran says you might prefer the visual details offered by a lower frame rate anyway. It is a trade-off. I feel safer. It's always good when US citizens feel more safer by the UK Online Safety Act. Must be great. IFB. Do we have more in the cheat? No, that's good. Okay, let's continue. GTA veteran Obe Vermeij, I don't know. Obe, might be Portuguese. Anyway, has chimed in on the rumors about GTA 6 potential frame rate, calling it a trade-off. GTA 6 is going to be an impressive game. Just looking at the newest GTA 6 trailer will reveal the likes of a realistic beer, wildly detailed characters models, individually modeled grass, and most importantly, according to GTA 5-star Ned Luke, the assets are realistic. Yeah, I have nothing against that. The grass, whatever, the beer, like the bubbles in the beer bottle, you are not gonna... I love like visually good looking games, don't get me wrong. But I think we are in a point, probably if you're older too, might be like a me thing. I'm not gonna pay that much attention while I play the game. If the story is there, if it's a good story and the visuals overall are good, I don't need all those little details. Bubbles in a beer bottle, like small bubbles and all that. Who really cares for that much? And are you gonna pay attention like frame by frame on every little detail? And if it's 30 frames per second, are you gonna wait, like move one foot, wait? Oh yeah, nice picture. No, you're gonna want to fucking rob people, steal cars, Grand Theft Auto, steal cars, drive away. It's gonna be a blurry mess on the sides anyway. So I think the focus is a little bit wrong. Also, if you follow Rockstar a little bit, Do you remember even like GTA 1 and 2, how they looked like? They were nothing impressive visually. Top down visuals, like very small characters from above only. 2D, everything. Nobody cared for that, really. That's what made the games great. The story, kind of, like the violence, like the robbing, the stuff, the gangster being there, you know. That's what makes the game great. I think they are focusing a little bit too much on those visuals these days, maybe. But yeah, I'm not gonna buy the game anyway, so they are not losing me. Tiny bubbles and big booties. I have nothing against like realistic jiggle physics for sure. Rockstar Games' attention to detail is second to none, and it looks even more breathtaking than the already wildly good-looking Red Dead Redemption 2. However, the visuals that good, the frame rate has come into question. Will current gen consoles be able to handle the level of fidelity and still hit that 60 frames per second sweet spot? A former Red Dead Redemption 2 and GTA 5 animator thinks the game will run at 30 on consoles. While Digital Foundry's Richard Leadbetter previously thought that even a PS5 Pro would struggle to hit 60 frames per second in GTA 6. Yeah, they're gonna focus on 30 frames per second. I think a little bit less visual details might be better though for such a game, especially when you're on the drive like half of the time, like shooting half of the time. You might want a little bit more like fluid movement, you know, on the battlefields, there on the streets, shooting your gangster rivals and all that. You might want 60 frames per second instead of 30 frames, but it looks amazing. That might be just me though. How you feel about that? How you feel about that? Here comes the PS6 GTA 6 combo. And PS6 is at least 2.5, 3 years away from now, at least. We have like zero details really for that. And probably they're gonna focus maybe even on a handheld. So don't be too excited about performance there. Ouch, my junk. I talked about it a few times. They're gonna make for sure a mobile version of PS6, by the way. I talked about it 6 weeks ago from now on back. They're gonna make a mobile version for sure, and might be the only version. Who knows? Who knows? You need to have the console everywhere, right? You need to have your games everywhere with you to show you that you never matured, that you can't sit still at home. I don't fucking know. The game release, supposedly we get it next year. Who knows? But I think we're gonna get a combo probably way later, with an updated version though, like with a GTA 6 Deluxe Edition with all the enhanced stuff in it. But yeah, that's just far in the future. In game terms, in video games terms, speculation we are doing here. But yeah, I would like to see 60 frames per second in general for games of that kind, because to me it then feels otherwise like in Starfield. Starfield was very well known for that bullcrap. Like, it looks nice, it looked nice when it was launched, right? But you were capped even on PC. No matter how capable your PC was, you were just capped there, 30 frames per second. You couldn't do anything else above. So, and people were pissed. A lot of people were pissed, and it wasn't even like not stable 30 frames per second, which pissed me off personally. Like, how can you publish a game, cap it on 30 frames per second, and not give me like the fucking stability there too? Yeah, but guys, there we are. How you feel about game companies capping you on certain stuff just to provide you proof of, look how much details we have though. It doesn't matter that it doesn't run super well, but look how much details. Look at the beer bottle, the bubbles, man. That's what your focus should be, on the beer bottle with the bubbles there. I don't think that's the right focus. You have to have the right focus on visuals too, in the sense of find the balance. Just find the balance. Are you trying just to catch like only high-end PC GPU owners there? No, because it's gonna be published on PS5 and mainly bought there. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's just me though. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed my screaming and my rambling and my bad English as usual. And half of the people left me, probably for some other gays. Huh? Why are you not sticking to this gay? I'm supposedly gay. I was told many times. Anyhow, every day, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern, here on this channel, Switzerland Play It. Rumble, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. You find me here, rambling and struggling with English, you know, talking about news, game news, video news, video game news, hardware, TV shows, and of course sometimes movies. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care. Follow my channels. Give me all your money. All links to the articles are down below. And yeah, thank you for being around. I enjoyed the chat. Being around my people feels good. Oh, why did that thing not catch the name? Okay, let me go through. Thank you, Evereden. Thank you, Out My Junk. Thank you, Godzilla. Thank you, Galactic Gaming Den. Thank you, Nutty Pirate. Thank you, Haste. Thank you, Mikaisen, I guess. Although Mikaisen is gay, real gay. But thank you. Thank you, 30-something media. Thank you, FP. I remember that, but just scrolling. Don't want to miss the peoples. Thank you, Big Z. Thank you, Be more better. No, you be more better. Check, scroll.